What's happening, guys? Welcome to Slip the Jab Boxing. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. So it looks like Conor Benn and Chris Eubank has been agreed. It looks like it will happen on December 23rd. This is great news because at one point it wasn't even looking like this fight would happen, or it could be years down the line based on Conor Benn maybe getting a ban or something like that. At first I wasn't too excited when I heard about this fight previously, but as it got closer to it, I got more interested. And then the controversy around Conor Benn happened. That brought a lot more excitement to it. And I think it was a good thing that all of that happened because it allowed time for them to build their own rivalry rather than have this fight and just have the only narrative being our dads were once rivals. It's good that they've got their own rivalry going now. And then with the PED scandal, it's got its own narrative behind it as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting fight. I'm not exactly sure what it does for Chris Eubank Jr. other than bragging rights, but I'm here to see it. I think afterwards he's definitely got to go and try and see Janibek and win a world title. But as I said, great news, but this looks like it's going to clash with the heavyweight undisputed clash between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, which got signed not too long ago. Now, I'm aware that there's been two provisional dates, one being December 23rd, and I think the other one's in January. So there are two dates, but if it was to happen on December 23rd, would Eddie Hearn be ready to put Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank up against that? I mean, I know the undisputed fight would happen in Riyadh, and Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank looks like it will happen in Abu Dhabi, if not the UK. So the time will clash as well, if they were to both happen on the same day. Eddie Hearn hasn't given a second provisional date for Chris Eubank and Conor Benn, so I assume he's pushing on with it no matter what happens. There's been talk of having AJ on the card, but that doesn't really mean what he used to. His performance haven't been good recently, and whatever opponent he has on that card, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be one that we're interested in. And I think AJ's star power is starting to dwindle. With each performance, it's not getting better. It's probably getting worse because his performances are just not good. So with that said, I don't expect him being on the card to make such a great difference that people would not watch Undisputed but watch this card instead. Now, Tyson Fury has lost quite a lot of popularity because of his antics when it comes to Undisputed. It's been more than once that he's delayed it or prevented it with his own behavior. And even Alexander Usyk, after his fight with Daniel Dubois, and there was the whole issue with the low blow, some people have even started looking at him a bit funny. I mean, it's a lot smaller than the people that have turned off of Tyson Fury, but some people have started to look at Usyk in a certain way or lost a little bit of respect for him because of that. I'm not one of them personally, but that is how it goes sometimes. But even with those factors at play, Undisputed at heavyweight is still undisputed. So it's a fight that I expect the majority of people to be interested in. The casuals, the hardcore boxing fans, it catches everybody because we haven't had an undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis. It's a long time ago. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank doesn't really capture the casuals. I mean, obviously the casuals are a lot more aware of it because of the PED scandal, but it doesn't attract the casuals in the same way that Undisputed does. And it's more of a fight of interest for British boxing fans than boxing fans overall because of the rivalry of their parents, that being a great British rivalry of the past. That's where most of this intrigue for this fight comes from. So the majority of fans are going to be UK fans. So I'm not exactly seeing where Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn is able to compete commercially with the Undisputed fight. This leads me to believe that Eddie Hearn probably knows something about the Undisputed fight that we don't. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Tyson Fury to pretend to play ball about the Undisputed fight, sign on the dotted line and all of that, just to mess around with Eddie Hearn's plans. I mean, he's done this previously. He's delayed Anthony Joshua, he's delayed Alexander Usyk, and he's got previous for wasting people's time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did that here, signed on the dotted line, said the fight's going to happen. Yep. Eddie Hearn panics, looks for another fight date, and Tyson Fury doesn't even take the Undisputed fight on either date. That's a very real possibility. So maybe that's why Eddie's pushing on anyway. Maybe he knows that this is all just a PR stunt by Tyson. Maybe to sell more tickets for Ngannou, to waste Eddie Hearn's time. Maybe a combination of both. It could be other things that I don't know. So, as I said, he's got previous for this. These things make me think that the Undisputed fight maybe isn't happening. I mean, I try and believe it, but at the same time, I just don't. I don't believe Eddie Hearn is a money man, so I just don't believe he would make a decision in which he's not going to make the most money, or to just naively believe, because I'm promoting this event, it's definitely going to do better than Undisputed. I mean, I understand Eddie Hearn's got ego, and it's a good thing. It's probably got him to where he is at the moment. You've got to believe you're great before you are great. Then you know you're great. That's usually how it works. So, and he is a great promoter. But I would hope he's not naive enough to believe that he can make Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. a bigger fight than the heavyweight Undisputed fight. But guys, let me know what you think. Are you guys happy that Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank's happening, or are you still in the group of people that believe that Conor Benn still has something to prove in terms of the PEDs? Do you think the Undisputed fight will happen? And if they were to happen on the same day, which fight would you be tuning into? I know for me, it's definitely Undisputed. 100% Undisputed. But let me know what you think, guys. Take it easy.